It's day 11 of the league's reveals. We are now under 1 week before release, and today we got another entire tier of 3 relics. This time there are 3 different utility skilling relics. We'll go ahead and kick things off with the first one, and what I would argue is probably going to be the worst and least picked. This is the Friendly Forager. Upon choosing this relic, you get the Forager's Pouch, and this will make it so that when you gather resources from woodcutting, fishing, mining, or hunter, the pouch will just find and randomly store a grimy herb. This is limited to herbs that you have the level to clean plus an invisible 25 bonus. It'll also give you a very small amount of XP that probably isn't anything substantial to worry about. The pouch works just like the herb sack and it shares an inventory with it. And then lastly, with it you are also going to gain the 2 secondary benefits when it comes to actually training herb lore. You will save 90% of your secondaries and you will always create 4 dose potions instead of 3. A relic that's a nice little buff to herb lore, especially if you were not planning on going the farmer relic. This relic just gives you a great AFK touch of getting herbs for free whenever you're just doing other skilling activities you're going to be doing anyway. Now, I don't think this relic's that bad overall. I think what the 2 relics it's up against, it is just not going to stand a chance. The first one we have is Corner Cutter. Now, both of these next 2, Corner Cutter and then the other is Dodgy Deals, are essentially just Trickster divided by 2. Corner Cutter itself is essentially just the agility aspect of it with a little bonus. Whenever you unlock this relic, you'll get the Sage's Grieved, and while equipped, you will get agility XP based on your agility level while you're running. Now the additions on top of it is completing an agility course will grant you 2 completion laps, and you'll also get 25% more XP. 10k GP will spawn with every single Mark of Grace. And then lastly, you will get double quantity of Pyramid Tops, Hallowed Marks, Brimhaven tickets, and the Crystal Shards. Overall, this relic just being a massive buff to agility, and then lastly, we have the massive buff to thieving, and this one is Dodgy Deals. You will have a 100% success rate while thieving. You will automatically re-pickpocket an NPC or a stall until you can no longer do so. Items obtained from pickpocketing are noted. Maximum coin pouch count is increased by 3 times, and stalls do not deplete when you steal from them, so there is no delay between pickpocketing from a stall. And the last one, which might be the craziest change on this entire relic, pickpocketing NPC will also pickpocket all NPCs of the same type within a 11 by 11 square. You don't get additional XP, but you will get additional loot for every NPC that gets pickpocketed. And if we head back to the reveal video, you can see pickpocketing this guard in the middle would then automatically give you the loot from all 4 of the guards because they are within your 11 by 11 square. Essentially making thieving with this relic one of the best and most consistent moneymakers you are going to have access to. And it makes an even bigger difference depending on how early you're going to be able to unlock this relic. One last addition I do want to make that probably should honestly have been included in this description. You'll have the ability to one-click withdraw all of the herbs that are in the pouch, and they will be noted. Personally, based off the current relics we have, I feel like this one might have to fall right around tier 3. We get skilling relics right out of the gate at tier 1. Wouldn't be surprising at all to see tier 2 being the teleport relics. And I think this one would fall very solidly right into tier 3. Of the ones we've had released so far, I think the next up in terms of power would be something like Golden God because it would need to be revealed relatively early on in the tier list. The later this one comes into the game, the less powerful it actually is. And honestly, something like Production Prodigy could be a very good relic to go head-to-head with this one. Grimoire and Overgrown will definitely come a little later, probably around tier 5 or 6, and the exact same would apply to Banker's Note or Recall. I could see either of these tiers being interchangeable, one being 5, one being 6, or just vice versa. Now, I think there's going to be a lot of heavy opinions on people believing that Dodgy Deals is just far and away the best relic in this class. But the whole point of this tier was to make the skills that you greatly dislike easier. So if you're a person that absolutely hates agility and you would take an agility relic over anything regardless of what it is, because your 2 options are you're either going to train agility by doing it for free with this relic or you're just not going to do it at all, then this relic is easily better than anything else offered, even if Dodgy Deals is quote-unquote more strong. And as we mentioned earlier, Dodgy Deals does finally give a little bit of hope to the Kandarin region. Thieving is probably one of Kandarin's greatest aspects, but there's definitely going to be plenty of other methods in other regions, one of them being like Firewatch. Firewatch in Mauritania will be a great option. The wealthy citizen spawns over in Varlamore I know definitely have relatively close rotations. They do wander quite a bit, so they probably don't consistently fall within that 11 by 11 area. But what was normally a very high failure rate method becomes some phenomenal thieving XP and GP. Thieving Elves over in Prif is another area this relic will excel because the success rate gets all the way up to just under 50%, even with all of the buffs of the extra pickpocket chance stuff and at 99 thieving. I think this tier of relics does a very good overall job of giving you the complete choice of picking your own path. If you're already planning on taking the overgrown relic for farming, it makes friendly forager completely obsolete, leaving you with the free choice of either trying to make agility easier or thieving easier. And if you don't hate either skill, you can just go with whichever one's going to be stronger for your region. I'm sure plenty of people are going to be absolutely devastated to see Trickster tore apart into basically two different relics. If I had to pick, I think Dodgy Deals will be the most popular relic in this tier, but let me know down in the description below what your guys' thoughts are, which relic you're going to be picking from this tier. If you guys did enjoy today's reveal, drop it a like, and I will catch you guys in the next one.